This is the chilling story of Yu Young-chul, one of South Korea's most infamous serial killers. Between 2003 and 2004, he caused fear throughout a whole city, captured the national press looking for answers, and left the police struggling to accept that a serial killer was among them. His weapon of choice was a homemade hammer, with which he started a bloody reign of terror, frightening the country until justice finally caught up with him in a case full of shocking twists. But Yu Young-chul's transformation into a heartless killer didn't happen overnight. Before his reign of terror, he had already built a disturbing criminal record and a history of serving time in prison. Now, let's look deeper into the disturbed world of this Korean man, also known as the Raincoat Killer, who violently took the lives of 26 people. In 2004, the owner of a massage parlor in Seoul noticed a disturbing pattern. Some of the girls working there were disappearing mysteriously. Since these girls were workers, their disappearance was not noticed by family or friends, and their isolated lives made them easy targets. The alarm was raised when the massage parlor owner got an unexpected call from a man asking for one of the missing girls. What made this call alarming was that it came from the phone of one of the girls who had disappeared. Quickly, the police set up a trap to deceive the caller into meeting a girl who was part of their plan. The caller fell into their trick, was arrested, and the truth began to emerge. The man behind these terrible crimes was none other than Yu Young-chul, the Raincoat Killer. His reign of terror was finally over, leaving the nation shocked and in disbelief at the horrific nature of his crimes. When they arrived at the location, the police arrested Yu Young-chul. Initially, they thought it was a case of kidnapping and human trafficking, but it soon became one of the most horrifying killing sprees in history. Astonishingly, during questioning, Yu Young-chul admitted to killing over 20 people, most of them either prostitutes or elderly and wealthy victims. He even showed the authorities where he had buried the bodies. The big question was, what could make someone commit such terrible acts? To answer that, we need to look at Yu Young-chul's difficult past, filled with tragedy and hardship. Born into poverty in 1970 in Gocheong, Yu Young-chul had a tough childhood. He was often mocked by other kids because of his family's lower class status. It is believed that his anger towards richer people started early because of his own family struggles. His life took a darker turn when his mother abandoned him and his siblings, leaving them with their grandmother and never returning. Eventually, his father took care of the children and remarried, but their stepmother was violent, making their lives harder. Things got worse when Yu Young-chul's father tragically died in a car accident in 1985, leaving them devastated. The loss of his father pushed Yu Young-chul further down a dangerous path. Trying to escape poverty, Yu Young-chul worked hard and hoped to succeed in life. He wanted to attend art school, but his dreams were crushed when he was rejected by the school in 1988. Feeling frustrated, he went to a technical school instead, where he wasn't very interested in his studies. Instead, he turned to crime to make money quickly. Yu's criminal life didn't go smoothly. At just 18, he was caught stealing from a wealthy neighbor, which led to him being sent to a juvenile detention center. He couldn't go back to the technical school, and he failed his classes. Even after this, his criminal activities grew, and he started stealing more valuable things, including cash and cars. In 1991, he was caught again after stealing from his landlord, which earned him another 10-month prison sentence. Despite his multiple convictions, his girlfriend, who worked as a masseuse, chose to marry him, and they had a son. However, Yu Young-chul couldn't stay out of crime and began stealing again after his release from prison. He was caught once more, this time for stealing a car, and sentenced to another 8 months in jail. During this time, he was diagnosed with epilepsy, which he later used to his advantage. Although Yu's criminal record was mostly for theft and non-violent crimes, his actions took a dark turn later. After being arrested for selling illegal pornography, Yu Young-chul was sentenced to 2 years in prison. When he was released, he immediately committed another crime and went back to prison for 3 more years. During this time, his wife stood by him, raising their son, but by the year 2000, she had enough and filed for divorce while he was still in prison, citing abuse and alcohol problems. When he was released in 2003, Yu Young-chul started a new path of depravity that would terrify the city and shock the world. While in prison, he grew an admiration for a killer named Jung Do-young, who had killed 9 people between 1999 and 2000. This admiration, combined with his increasing hatred for the wealthy and women, stirred up dark thoughts in his mind. After the divorce, Yu had visitation rights with his son, but instead of taking revenge on his ex-wife and child, he focused on his next targets, wealthy people. He blamed them for his problems and felt they deserved to die. His mind was filled with evil ideas, and he planned to kill them during his visits. He didn't act on revenge against his family, but didn't hesitate when he found his next targets, the rich. His actions soon escalated to terrifying levels, leaving the city in fear and spreading shock around the world. Before his killing spree, Yu Yongchul practiced with his homemade weapon, a custom hammer with a short handle and special grip, as well as a knife and gloves. To test it out, he began killing stray dogs in secluded forests, showing the ruthless violence often seen in serial killers who start by hurting animals before moving on to humans. After being free for less than 2 weeks, Yu acted on his plan. On September 24, 2003, he targeted the wealthy area of Sinsadong. His first victims were an elderly retired professor, Lee Yoksu, and his wife, Yeon Ok. Without warning, Yu burst into their home at around 10 a.m., stabbed Mr. Lee in the neck, and hit his wife with the hammer. He then returned to Mr. Lee to finish him off. After the brutal act, he cleaned up and left, but not without leaving behind his knife. He tried to make it look like a robbery gone wrong, trashing the house, but not actually stealing anything. This made the police suspicious. Shoe prints found at the scene would later be vital evidence in the investigation. Yu killed again on October 9, 2003 in Gujidong, following the same pattern. He broke into another rich house in the morning and killed an 85-year-old woman named Mo Kang. When the homeowner's wife interrupted, Yu killed her too, along with her disabled son. Fortunately, the husband wasn't home at the time, but he later found the bodies. The police now had prints from multiple crime scenes and began looking for leads, but Yu wasn't done yet. He continued his killing spree, moving to Samsung-dong, where he attacked a 69-year-old woman in her house, beating her in the bathroom. Though she was found alive by her son, she later died from her injuries. As the media noticed the similarities between the murders, they began questioning if a serial killer was behind them, but the police denied it to avoid causing panic. Still, it became clear that the murders were connected. On November 18, 2003, Yu struck again, this time in Dong province, targeting a housekeeper. Armed with a knife, he continued his reign of terror. Yu forced the housekeeper to lead him to the bedroom of the 87-year-old homeowner, Kim Jong-suk. However, they ran into a problem. The homeowner's 1-year-old son was also in the room. Yu attacked Kim with his hammer, and in the chaos, the housekeeper grabbed the baby and tried to escape. Miraculously, Yu spared the baby, wrapping him in a blanket and leaving him in another room. Yu then returned to the bedroom and killed the housekeeper, leading to her tragic death. Realizing he left his DNA at the crime scene, Yu set the house on fire to cover up his tracks. The baby was later found alive, and the police found security footage showing Yu wearing a sweater he found in the house to hide the blood on his clothes. This gave investigators vital evidence, including more shoe prints. Surprisingly, Yu stopped targeting older wealthy people and began focusing on the red light district, where he extorted money from escorts while pretending to be a police officer. He became skilled at this illegal activity and eventually earned enough money to move into an apartment. His deep hatred for the rich kept pushing him, and he was determined to find his next victim. After a short break in his killing spree, Yu's hatred for women grew when he started dating an escort and proposed to her. However, when she found out about his past, she broke off the relationship. This rejection seemed to be the tipping point for Yu, and he decided to take revenge. On March 16, 2004, he resumed killing by pretending to be a police officer and luring an escort to his apartment. He brutally killed her, kicking her head and hanging it to drain her blood. He dismembered the body and buried it in grocery bags behind a university. Next, Yu targeted a street vendor named An Jae-sun. He arrested him on fake charges, took him to a remote area, and murdered him. He then burned the vendor's van to destroy evidence. Yu went back to targeting escorts in the red light district, killing several more and burying their bodies, marking each burial site with a bottle cap. He continued his killing spree until the owner of a massage parlor noticed the disappearances. Yu Yongchul's reign of terror caused many families to mourn the loss of loved ones, all killed by an unfeeling psychopath. Yu's carelessness eventually led to his capture. As more escorts went missing, one of the massage parlor owners noticed something strange. One of the missing girls had left to meet a client, and the same phone number was linked to two different disappearances. The police used this information to set a trap for Yu. When they finally arrested him, Yu was found with calling cards from several escorts and the phone that matched the one from the missing girls. In the interrogation room, Yu admitted to kidnapping and committing multiple murders, confessing to over 20 killings, starting with the wealthy in Sinsadong and ending with the murder of an escort just days before his arrest. Though the police were initially skeptical, they soon confirmed the horrifying truth. Yu had used his epilepsy to escape custody briefly, but was recaptured within 12 hours. He later admitted to some gruesome acts, claiming to have eaten the organs of some victims, though this was never fully proven. Some victims were found missing organs, lending some weight to his claims. As the police took him to the burial site, he wore a large yellow raincoat, earning him the nickname Raincoat Killer, which gained international attention. During his trial, Yu acted violently, trying to attack the judge and a spectator, and even attempted suicide while in custody. He showed no remorse for his victims. Eventually, he was found guilty and sentenced to death.